Doing my
All
best
right, here
Tobo
we go.
impression by drinking water.
Oh, nice. All right, anyway,
Actually,
here we
have
go.
water.
I
I
got
have
picks
water.
and bans right here. The first ban coming out of Watermeat is Ballroom. And
I think that's been Watermeat's general ban.
all right, well, some people don't like Ballroom apparently. That's understandable. Anyway, second ban, unfortunately, shall be Aquarium. Somebody does not like sharks. Ooh, I actually do very much like Watermeat. First pick is Balcony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, next pick. Ooh, this is gonna be a fun set. Tien.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So banning Aquarium but taking Tien is an interesting.
Yep. I don't know. I like it though. Second pick out of Watermeat is Library.
Okay, that seems more.
Yep.
More his,
And then
his speed usually.
the final pick out of Cartwright is Gallery.
Okay, well.
So two things to note here. One, so I ended up playing Cartwright a couple times in placements and Winter Cup, and Balcony was a map that I felt very comfortable in. When we got to overtime in Winter Cup, I'm like, sweet, Balcony, this is not something he's going to be familiar with, or particularly his tempo. So I think it makes sense as a Watermeat pick. The Tien pick when you've banned Aquarium is interesting, but I know that's been done by other players. I know, for example, that's something that Year End did the other way around against me. He banned Tien, but picked Aquarium. They're not actually as similar as they could potentially be as being two occlusion-y maps.
Yeah.
We get to cast some Balcony.
Yeah, double.
Better or worse.
Double Balcony.
And we're starting off Bug, Seduce, and Contact. Morgan Freeman. Not Morgan Freeman.
This is Disney.
Andrew
Disney.
Ryan. Andrew Ryan.
Andrew Ryan. Oh, goodness sake. Here on Balcony in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, and balcony is actually very interesting. It's just hard to evaluate in real time.
Yeah, and it really depends on how the highlights and lowlights go, if they're honest. A lot of people are hesitant to lowlight because it makes it a lot harder to catch a bug, and it's really an actually quite sensible option to do nothing and then just bug at the end of the game.
There's an interesting double talk from Watermeat, not caught by Cartwright here.
Yeah,
So
34%. Ooh, lowlights. So with this matchup, so Watermeat is notorious for doing hardtails. Swap Meat is his go-to nickname from the few weeks he did in SCL5, and generally he's quite hardtail heavy. Cartwright is a bit of an unknown. He's been community a bit less, but he's really good. And the big things that come from Cartwright's play have been catching hardtails. He's really good at catching bug, and he's really no nonsense.
So what you're saying is this might be a good matchup for Cartwright.
This is a matchup where I think Cartwright has a good position for sure in that, like, as him sniper and Watermeat spy. And then Cartwright's spy generally tests patience, which Watermeat has been patient, has not been patient, depending on the day. 84%. The last flirt, it's gonna be shoot for the talk. We're the only person talking. It's now or never, Cartwright.
Yeah, but we're not a highlight, and it looks like Watermeat's gonna get away with this. So 1-0 Watermeat on Balcony, his own pick.
Yeah, I think this is why you pick Balcony, right? You're making them shoot for in this case 3 flirts and a BB, and I think maybe the green BB the biggest factor in this particular game. Did he green the BB?
Yeah. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
On it.
I'm surprised he had no highlight at least. That being said, clean game and Cartwright on general. Maybe we'll get some bugs in this Balcony game. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And so far this season, Watermeat's been doing pretty well. has had a couple wins, a couple ties coming up into this week 7. Cartwright has not played as many of their matches, but has 2 draws and a loss, so hasn't had the same kind of early success Watermeat has had so far.
Was the loss
But
against Dowsy?
let me check.
29% float across the conversation.
No, the loss was against Minty Rug.
Oh yeah. Which, to be fair, is a fair loss. So with Silver, it's a race for top 2 or 3, and as long as you're getting draws, you're matching everybody who's not named Dowsy. This is an
Draws are
important
not
match, so
bendable.
you need to be getting a point from this match for both these players. If not, preferably just 2 points if you're going to be planning on competing at the end of the season.
We'll be ignoring Toby.
And the banana bread.
This
This is a very spy-like game. You got highlight for flirt. He does a white contact. Toby's behind him and has to do that awkward timing where you take the drink as soon as possible, but it's always the same timing. Another flirt, 74%. We haven't been close enough to anybody to flirt because
we
we just
get
been
brought
sitting
back
here.
down though. Maybe
This is
because of that reason.
Yeah, we're gonna need to move potentially. The flirt was at 44.6. That's safety off.
Ooh. Yeah,
Yeah,
safety
Cartwright
off.
agrees with me on needing to move. We got sticky fingers here, sticky keys.
But our
Cartwright,
this window.
he's gonna go to the conversation, relying on the
really
second target to come
dangerous.
to us. She
And it
does, right
happens.
next to us. We're gonna be the last talk. We're gonna be the overtime shot, but Boots also talking.
Oh, she's the overtime shot. We got really good.
That's fortunate.
That's It looked like Sticky
Cartwright.
might be the overtime shot, but he had talked right about 10 seconds. But Boots talking there helps us out so much, and Cartwright goes up 2-0.
Yeah, so we take the last talk about 5 to 4
Oh,
seconds,
wait, whoops.
and Boots interrupts us immediately.
Yeah, whoops, I got
Boots,
confused for a second. That was 2 spy wins.
Yeah, 2 spy wins. It's 1-1. I don't know why
Yeah.
I said 2-0.
the
OP
2
scoreboard.
highlights that Watermeat has at the end of the game are both talking in the last 10 seconds. He could not have asked for more fortune there, because in other situations, you're just the only talker and you get shot, despite the fact they had no suspicion on you. Balcony's
Yeah.
silly. And we're 1-1. And we'll get started here in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah. So sorry about that. OP scoreboard is not doing great today. We start off and it's early. We can get a good BB here, except we just ignored the action test and people leave.
Banana bread.
Yeah, this is one of those situations
like
with the
perfect
loader.
Wodar shot.
This is the Wodar shot. So when you do a green banana bread, there's 2 benefits, right? 1, you're not talking, but 2, it happens immediately. And when you do a white banana bread, it can actually be quite a long time before the banana bread comes off. And when AI, yeah, we're just copying out this game bug shot.
And yep, and Watermeat gets shot, and now Cartwright goes up 2-1.
I think he might have come into that game planning to do a bug with that timing of that banana bread with someone out of conversation. It was not the best banana bread, and it wasn't particularly like a good banana bread, because balcony you can almost always get everybody in conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that delay when someone leaves the conversation. It would be really weird for someone to go, someone just left the conversation, let me try and banana bread. So that's why the Wodar shot ends up being, I'm shooting you for talking when someone left.
Yeah, and now Watermeat in danger of losing his own map pick.
Yeah, which is not particularly uncommon, even with people who are evenly matched, which I think these two you could reasonably say. We'll finish this balcony set up in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Bug? Nah, we have a drink in hand. Have you, in your life, ever chaos bugged on balcony, OP?
Oh yes.
I think it's surprisingly good. I think time ads are also surprisingly good because it's just something that really shouldn't work. 33%, which isn't terrible. Even another 33% means we can saddle up for a 34% in the future if we cannot be bothered to hit a green. We almost had a good banana bread there, but Queen decides to leave. And Watermeat taking some low light. Some people who just haven't talked. We're already in a good position, but Cartwright somehow avoided the highlight.
Yeah, and now we are in kind of a bad spot. We're narrowed down to 4. We're not the highlight, so that's hopeful.
If we can
Rusty
hit this
joined.
green, it's not enough.
Yeah,
So
we
we
still
need
need
36%, which means we need another green, and we're getting the highlight. I'm surprised we didn't leave this conversation. If we can do the math, we can figure out what we went from 29 to 64. So that would be
Banana bread.
35, and
35.
35
is
would be
barely not
enough. So
enough.
we can stand here and green test and be good to go. We do take the banana bread.
No, 35 would be exactly 99%, but it doesn't matter. Watermeat misshoots onto queen.
This is why I just go get closer to the seduction target and don't try and do math in the middle of a set.
Banana bread.
35 plus 64.
Green banana breads are good. Talking during banana bread is bad. Queen should know better. It's
Yep.
balcony. Have fun,
And
guys.
now
Oh,
we go to the
more
most
nonsense.
we go to the most balcony of venues that's not actually balcony. Taeyeon.
I disagree with that statement, but we'll talk about Taeyeon here in a moment. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. We get Taeyeon with the bookcases unblocked. I think that's not as bad for the spy as the statues unblocked, but it's definitely
Yes,
easier on the
you'd
sniper.
prefer to have the first 2 shoji on different sides of each other, usually,
As the spy.
as the spy, because it kind of muddles the view a little bit more.
Banana
You can't
bread.
all go all the way to the left or all the way to the right in either case.
Early banana
However,
bread,
you would
taking out a
definitely
middle. Yeah, early banana bread, taking out a middle statue person in rocker, but otherwise quite solid. SDA was in the other conversation too, so
And a purloin here. It's gonna be a white purloin.
it's gonna be behind the shoji.
Not for long.
No.
Ooh, actually,
Toby
Irish leaves.
Yeah,
but
Irish
it's
leaves,
there
so which means
again.
General is behind the statue. Has Cartwright even seen it?
Like I think Curry has like tilted over enough to be able to see it, but maybe not. It was definitely on screen for a moment, but it looks like we're just now. Like this is where Cartwright would definitely see it if Cartwright hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, so Cartwright, from my experience with him competitively, is really good at catching white purloins, and just you don't want to white test against him on any hardtail because he'll just shoot you for it. But things like green purloins can put him in a real piece of trouble. It's similar to the sort of mindset I treat Banana Conda with, where I'd rather not be doing the test. Irish did a bug path there and then immediately talked. I think that if you want to go back on that, Klados, we can show about 202 moving forward. If you're not already there, you can see this shot being fairly justified.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Although, I mean, I didn't see any sign of a bug. I mean, if you're looking closely anyway.
Yeah, but it's Taeyeon. If you're looking closely at anything,
Yeah.
and to immediate talk, it's really rude
don't know.
of Irish to have done this. I think that in addition to the banana bread and the purloin already happening, he's assuming this is last flirt and bug.
Yeah, could
That's
be.
3rd and 4th mission. Because he didn't catch the purloin.
Alright, Watermeat gets on the board again. Cartwright tries to spy to keep the lead. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
I'm interested to see if Cartwright has a
that's a
rush
bug.
in him. That's a
real
good
nice
bug. Cartwright, as far as I can tell, is, I mean, he's clearly willing to do things in chaos. I haven't seen anything that indicates that he's gonna do a hard rush, something like middle statues behind the shoji and spec swap sort of thing, which, to be fair, might be an option if you go and swap after Disney here. You're making it look like he's doing a cheesy swap at the very beginning of the game. Instead, we're going for the flirt. Big 51.
Yep, that's very helpful. Lots of kind of sighs of relief. Okay, I won't need to take too long in any case to get this flirt done.
Yeah, we also have the double agent here, though. There's a lot of people outside of the conversation for the moment. It might get better in the future. Not choosing the Purloin. This is a really good start, mainly on the back of that Chaos bug.
I mean, it was like when you say chaos bug, it brings to mind bugs that aren't usually that good, but are good because of chaos. That was a good bug in chaos, which is super strong.
Banana bread.
Okay, Banana Bread did get better, and we green it. Everything's going up Cartwright.
The only thing that could be assumed is that the back conversation doesn't actually have real contact because the SDA left right before the contact.
That's a highlight for...
Yeah?
I'm not sure what. Purloin here would not be the right choice. Middle statues would seemingly be a lot healthier. It is still quite early in the game. Assuming that Flirt's done would be a big ask. Cartwright is going to move back
Request
here
this
and is
drink.
requesting the drink.
White
Ooh,
purloin
this is
coming off. This could be a shot based on the
the list is
purloin.
visible. It's going to need to be an early shot. We still have
3 seconds
90
though,
seconds left.
and Watermeat's just not gonna make it to the shot. Cartwright keeps the lead at 4-2, going into the second half of TM.
I'm going to make the assumption that he did see the Purloin. And it's early enough in the game where he's not comfortable shooting.
Yeah, that's one of the big virtues of rushes. Unless a lot of your stuff gets seen, which you're gonna get shot for, them seeing a hardtail is something that's not necessarily going to get you shot if they're not all the way on top of it.
Yeah, and so
Because they can assume, okay,
you can
I
wait
can
for
wait a
a
little bit.
bug
And,
or wait
yeah,
for at least another talk for a Flirt,
exactly.
which had already happened because green Flirts are good. And it's a 4-2 lead on Cartwright's part.
That is correct.
All right.
And we'll get some more Tay on here, but Watermeat back on the spy side in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And
Standing in front of the sniper. Shoot
Laser.
me, I dare you.
That's the nicest thing you can do as a bad manner is you go finish your game. This is a bit close to be a convincing briefcase in my opinion.
So what's
Even if
good about this briefcase is that potentially it might go unseen. It didn't have the greatest conversation cover, but that middle area between the two conversations, if the briefcase is sitting right there, you can pick up that briefcase, and you can maybe get an unseen fingerprint if they're not paying close enough attention to the fact that you just stood up and then squatted back down to put that briefcase back. It can, and unseen fingerprints are oh so very strong. I love them very much.
This Purloin would be surprisingly good, by the way, because I'm gonna suspect that Toby's gonna go behind the Shoji, and if you green the Purloin, it gets someone behind the Shoji taking and it frames them real well. Instead, we're just taking the double agent here, and I'm so if he had greened a Purloin, Irish and Pearls would have done a reject behind the Shoji. It would have been absolutely lethal, and then also been in the conversation for the banana bread.
You have to consider what happens if you hit a white there. That's the problem.
And then Toby goes behind the Shoji and he never sees the Purloin, or you die.
Or you die.
It's just one of the two. Good Flirt here. Section target being kind and standing next to us. We have not seen the amount of sunshine that we saw in the first set, at least so far. Ambassador taking here would help us out, but he refuses.
You know what else we've seen less of than in the first set?
Microfilms?
Time ads.
Oh yeah, it was time adding, but no, they were microfilm happy though. So we do find another print here, and we'll get inspect. We could just end on Softails. Not very Watermeat of Watermeat to end on Softails, but it is an option he has. Getting back into the conversation to Flirt would be a bit awkward. Watermeat agrees. He's just going to go to the back window and hope that Irish or Taft move away from his lover.
So that was a little bit of a bug path, but Cartwright was looked to be looking at it very, very closely, and so would know for sure, hey, that wasn't a bug. I'm happy with this character right now.
Watermeat does a little stutter. I think it was just him trying to get in the conversation, but it didn't look particularly bad. We're gonna finish inspects. We're not dead for the inspects, which means this flirt we might get away with. We have 40 seconds. We do not need to force this and get shot for flirt. We do
Yeah.
need to force this, and selection targets left. Watermeat's got a bit of shake to his camera for good reason. We're not chasing out to her.
Looks like we're gonna be requesting a drink from the waiter.
Oh, if we purloin here.
It's a white purloin. We might just get shot for it.
Yeah,
It's being watched.
we're running away.
I think we might just get shot for running away without even seeing the list.
That was a late shot. It couldn't get much closer.
Yeah, that
You
was
just
that was
had
really
to tell him
close.
to wait on that flirt, didn't you?
Yeah, I still think chasing her out to the windows would have made a healthier decision.
Yeah.
So Purloin was taken at 21 and we're shot at 13.6. So he had about 2 seconds left. One option he could have had was curl back in behind the conversations and make the shot harder, but he really just wanted to go to back windows and get away from Toby as far as he could.
Yeah, and looking back on it, I'm not sure if the list was ever visible from Cartwright's perspective. And so it looks like Watermeat just got shot on the assumption, which is actually really strong from Cartwright.
I think he saw a flash of it. It's yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to get a confirmation from him, but we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna watch more Tan in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
And
Irish. These guys are clearly picking their spies for people who have good bugs, and we're taking the immediate bug again.
Well, Irish's bug isn't well known for being a great standing bug. You really want the walking bug, but we do take the twitch bug, it looks like. And
Yeah, and it's so early that things like tracking who's at bookcases would still be happening. These early bugs have twice now paid off for Cartwright and given us a lot of progress early that makes us have a ton of options moving forward.
yeah, 46% flirt already. Not going to be in range for 2 flirts, unfortunately. Not like last game as Cartwright's spy. However, we have a lot of options. There's going to be a fingerprint on that front bookcase over there. We could go for that. Fingerprint on the statues. Lots of fingerprints around, and I'm sure Cartwright's very aware, looking at the party.
Yeah, when you get so many fingerprints to worry about as the sniper, it can sometimes be hard to track everything, and you just start assuming, well, literally everything in the party has a fingerprint. Ambassador going to another statue, by the way, and it's a middle statue. Incredibly juicy in the future if we want to do a silent game.
This is definitely why people pick Taft as their ambassador, and ambassador going to, well, it's the same statues before, so there's
Yeah,
no
he's already been
fingerprints.
there, but he's done statues to statues to statues. If he wasn't the ambassador, there would be decisions to be made.
That's a low light.
For 3 statues?
For statue to statue to statue?
Maybe in SCL, I think it would be. In casual, it's like, no, you're trolling me. Stop it. You have to shoot some AI sometime to teach them lessons.
Hear that, Urine? Hear that, Falcon hit?
Oh no, Falcon Hit shoots people who do statue to statue in casual. He's very much
Oh no,
applied learning.
I'm just talking about the fact that you said that you would delay for that in
Low sip,
SL.
but we're fine. It's middle statues. It has a print still.
Yeah, Blue Books also has a print.
The power
that
here,
would be
there's
a
so many
finish.
fingerprints that we're aware of. We could even just do 2 cycles here and then go to the other fingerprintable statue. Though I think just finishing the inspects
We
here.
don't
and then...
actually pick up the print on this.
Huh. I mean, if you don't pick up the briefcase after not picking up the print, I would be very mad at you. Twin gets shot. Any idea why, Cleos?
I don't know. Let's see.
I was hoping, because I know me and Opie don't know.
Yeah. Let's rewind and see.
Freak him out a little bit. Let's see what this
He's getting shot for talking.
I mean, looks like
center
a couple.
statues.
Looks like a couple of
fingerprints.
briefcase things. I don't know.
Middle
Oh yeah,
statues.
no, he had full prints in center statues.
And
And
then
even though there was no
shot for flirt.
contact, I think that there was paranoia about the bug flirt finish.
I don't know. I mean, he was fairly active. as far as.
Yeah, I mean, if he
But I don't
has
know.
him pinned down for 2 prints, middle statues, BB, and then flirt. Adds up. That's 4 missions.
Yeah, could be. All right. Anyway.
All right.
That,
Now Watermeat under the gun, trying to survive against this 6-2 deficit. I think.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
I hadn't given Cartwright the point yet.
Which it doesn't feel like 6-2. Cartwright's
Yeah.
been. This is the problem with Cartwright is even when you play him and you go, well, this is going well. He's shooting me for doing hardtails, but that happens. And then you look at the scoreline and you go, that's not as friendly as I thought it was.
Yeah.
He's very much a stone wall in that sense. And Watermeat's run into him and hurt his nose. So far, it's going to be interesting if Watermeat can get a spy win on Library and start the comeback. And we'll do that in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Watermeat going to instant center statues here.
Watermeat
Obviously,
doing the
that's a
Watermeat.
low
I
light.
think he blocked it well. He should white test this if he is going to do the swap. I'd be surprised if he doesn't swap. It's his namesake. He decided against it.
Yeah, if he hasn't done it yet, he's probably decided against it, so just puts it back.
Cartwright's not the sort of person who's going to reward you for not swapping. I've only ever seen it once, and it was Yeesh, who was the sniper. Cartwright doesn't know what lowlights are, so you're not going to get away with that. He might have even been assumed to have swapped, which is going to make this game really hard.
Yeah. Especially when you haven't actually gotten a swap.
Yeah, which is so unlike Watermeat. I think he's maybe a bit off his game, either just being off his game, or the fact that he's down 6-2 has put him in a spot where he's not feeling comfortable doing things that he would otherwise do.
By the way, we have another Irish game.
Yeah, these guys are clearly picking their spies for good walking bugs. Sorry, it's been casted now. You don't get to do it every single time in the future. Without picking small men, of course. You can just pick small men every game, but at some point the sniper will notice.
And literally everyone with a bad walking bug. Easy.
And I mean, relative. It's half the party. It does get interesting, right? When you're talking about, okay, so a neutral light's gone to middle statues, 30 seconds left in the game. And I don't know much about them. But it's Duke.
what was that?
I think
Somebody forgot to gulp. I see.
Oh.
I don't know. He went to bookcase with a drink
And then
sipped,
never picked
and then
it up
walked.
yet.
Yeah.
He did it really casually, though. To a point that I missed it, which, when I'm missing things like that, it means you've gone away with murder.
Banana bread.
Fake banana bread. This is a decision, and
Well, we
Cartwright.
do have a lot of highlights in for real, and we don't need the low light on Duke, which is actually really good for Watermeat here.
He's not getting the full reward of like an assume real, which I know even Kaylee was doing just right before the cast against Warning Track was assuming real. Cartwright, with everything I know about him, is not the sort of person to make assumptions.
Yeah, Cartwright is one of the more pure campers that are newer in the game.
I think genuinely they are the campiest person I can think of that's not named Kaylee. Like
Anaconda?
no, not even. I think they're campier than Bananaconda. I think Bananaconda
Really?
makes a lot of decisions that are based on intuition that aren't necessarily like that pure campiness of you've completed missions. Either that or they just don't count missions particularly well, despite the fact that they're a camper. Cartwright has such a lockdown on the game, but you're always getting shot for the hardtail.
Yeah, and
Banana bread.
we are
Or the mission complete.
with less than a minute left. We only have 2 missions done now.
And we've done 2 banana breads, and Cartwright's lowlights have been on point. It's going to make something like this microfilm quite noticeable. That
Yeah,
laser's lining up. Doesn't take the shot, but we put it back pretty quickly. Ooh, safety off.
really wants to shoot us. And I don't think we can get another fingerprint and another flirt without dying, and we're going to time
Time
at it.
ad after 30 seconds, it really isn't going to help our cause. Like I said, Cartwright's not necessarily going to shoot you for the time ad. He's going to shoot you for the mission, and we can get another flirt off. And there is a fingerprint on that bookcase that we just passed by. Because Ambassador's hopefully not taking the book out. I'll double check on that, but we are, yeah, we're going to
Just going to get
shot.
shot for that last flirt.
Yeah, exactly the sort of patience I expect from Cartwright, where he doesn't shoot for the time ad, because time ads, someone could be at the back windows and tricking you completely. He's 99% sure, and he takes the 100% shot with the shooting for the flirt.
Yeah, and that means Cartwright takes the set 7-2.
Which these guys, and I mentioned the matchup at the beginning, was Cartwright favored, and I think Cartwright is good at catching the things that Watermeat likes to do. That being said, 7-2 is a bit more dramatic than I was expecting.
Yeah, Cartwright is definitely near the top of silver, generally. And so Cartwright taking that down in dominating fashion is definitely a statement to be made going forward.
Yeah, Cartwright, I think at the end of the season, if he's not competing for the top, is the sort of player that you do not want to see as your last game. If you're going, I need to get second in this division, and I have to play Cartwright and win that game,